You're back at your desk. The meeting ended 20 minutes ago, and somehow, you're still in it. Someone said something dismissive about your idea, maybe 6 seconds of actual speech, and you've been living inside those 6 seconds ever since. You've replayed it. You sharpened the response you didn't give. You started building a theory about what they really meant, what they've always meant, what this says about the project, the team, your future here. And here's the strange part. The meeting room is empty now. The person who said the thing is probably eating a sandwich, thinking about nothing in particular. But you're still in a room that no longer exists, having a conversation that already ended, with a version of them you constructed out of the worst possible interpretation. That's what we're going to look at today. There are basically two ideas sitting next to each other, and together they form something like an invitation. The first is that underneath all of this, the stress, the replays, the low background hum of grievance, there's actually a different experience of being alive available to us. Not a fantasy. Not somewhere else, just this same moment, without the layer of commentary we've been adding to it. The second idea is harder. We can't fully be in both at once. The moment we're locked into the story of what went wrong, the quieter ground underneath disappears from view. Not because it's gone, because we're not looking at it. Here's an image that might help. Imagine you've been wearing tinted glasses for so long you've forgotten they're on your face. Everything you see has a slight shade to it, a little darker, a little more threatening, a little more about you than it actually is. And because you've been wearing them since you can remember, you don't call it tint. You call it reality. You call it just how things are. You call it being a realist, being smart, being prepared. The two ideas we're working with today are like two friends tapping you on the shoulder. The first one says, there's a version of this world without the tint. The second one says, you're not going to see it clearly while you're still sure the glasses aren't there. Notice, neither of them is asking you to rip the glasses off. That's important. The work isn't forcing some dramatic spiritual transformation. The work is much smaller, much more honest. It's just noticing, in one ordinary moment, that you've been wearing them. That what you've been calling reality has a filter on it. That you've been reacting to the filter, not the thing. Let's go back to the meeting, because the meeting is a perfect example of how this actually works in a day. The thing that happened was short. A sentence. A tone, maybe a glance. That was the event. Everything since then has been construction. Your mind built a whole world out of those few seconds. A world where this person is undermining you, where the project is in trouble, where you have to start protecting yourself, where you should have said something, where you'll definitely say something next time, where they probably talk about you when you're not around. And here's what's wild, that world feels completely real. Your shoulders are tight because of it. Your jaw is set because of it. You're not getting the actual work done because of it. The afternoon you were going to have, the focus, the small pleasures, the quiet competence of just doing your job, that afternoon has been quietly cancelled. And you didn't notice the cancellation. You just walked into the constructed world and started living there. This is the world the first idea is pointing at, not the meeting room. The one your mind built afterward, the looping one. The one with the tint. And the question being asked is gentle but pointed. is that the world you actually want to live in this afternoon. Because when we say it out loud like that, the answer is obvious. No. Of course not. Nobody would consciously choose to spend 3 hours of their life inside a hostile reconstruction of a 5-second moment. But we do it constantly. Not because we want to, but because we haven't noticed we're doing it. Now here's where the second idea makes things uncomfortable. Because part of us wants to say, fine, I'll have peace and also keep my grievance. I'll be calm and centered and also keep building the case against this person in the background. I'll let go and also be right. And the second idea says, very quietly, you can't. Not as a moral rule, not because peace is jealous. Just as a fact of how attention works. While you're inside the constructed world, the other one isn't available to you. While you're rehearsing the comeback, you're not in your actual afternoon. While you're convinced the glasses aren't there, you can't see what's underneath them. There's no version where we get both. This is the part that lands like a small thud, because it means we have to actually be willing to stop feeding the world we're done with. Not perfectly. Not forever. Just once. Just in this one moment. We have to be willing to set down the replay, even though setting it down feels like losing something. Even though part of us is sure that if we just analyze it one more time we'll finally have it figured out. The truth is, we won't. We've already analyzed it 11 times. The 12th isn't going to do it. The 12th is just the tint convincing us that more tint is the answer. So what does it actually look like to choose differently? Not theoretically. In real life. At your desk. At 3:45 in the afternoon. It looks like this. You catch yourself mid-replay. You notice, oh, I'm doing it again. I'm back in the meeting. I've been in the meeting for 40 minutes and the meeting ended an hour ago. And instead of analyzing why you're doing it or judging yourself for doing it, you just notice, I'm wearing the glasses right now. I'm seeing this whole afternoon through a tint I didn't choose. That's it. That's the whole move. You don't have to forgive anyone. You don't have to feel peaceful. You don't have to fix the situation. You just have to notice, honestly, that the world you've been living in for the last hour was constructed, and that you're the one who's been maintaining it. And something interesting happens when you do that. The construction loosens, not because you forced it, because you stopped feeding it. The looping needs your participation to keep running, and the moment you see it as looping, you've already stepped slightly outside it. What you'll notice, if you do this even once today, is that something inside you exhales. The pressure of defending your position, explaining what they did wrong, rehearsing the next round, it quietly releases. Not because you won the argument, because you stopped having it. And in the space where that pressure used to be, there's something steadier. Not dramatic. Not transcendent. Just the afternoon you were actually supposed to be having. The light coming through the window. The work in front of you. The fact that you're okay. Right now. In this exact moment. Regardless of what anyone said in a meeting. This is the world the first idea was pointing at the whole time. It was never far away. It was just underneath the one we kept rebuilding. And the only thing standing between us and it was the quiet insistence that the glasses weren't there. So today, if you notice yourself looping, and you will, because we all do, try this. Don't fight it. Don't fix it, just say, gently, to yourself, I'm wearing them right now. That's all. Then see what becomes available when you do. If you'd like more teachings and guided practices like this, you can like the video and subscribe. And now, we'll move into a short guided meditation. Let's take a few minutes to let this settle. Find a position where your body can be still. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let your jaw soften. There's nothing to figure out here. Let your breath arrive on its own. You don't have to deepen it or change it. Just notice it's already happening. Now, gently, bring to mind whatever you've been replaying today. The conversation. The moment. The small thing that's been looping in the background. You don't have to push it away. You don't have to resolve it. Just notice it's there. And notice something else. Notice that right now, in this moment, the thing isn't actually happening. It already happened. What's happening now is you. Here, breathing. Let that be true for a moment. Just that. The meeting ended. The conversation ended. The afternoon is still here. If there's a tint on how you've been seeing today, you don't have to remove it. Just notice it. Notice that you've been looking through something. That what you've been calling the situation has had a layer on top of it. And underneath that layer, this. Your breath. The weight of your body. The quiet of the room. Feel how little effort this requires. Nothing to defend. Nothing to explain. Nothing to rehearse. Let your attention rest here for a few breaths. Not on the loop, not on the story. Just on the steady fact that you're here. If the loop starts again, that's okay. You don't have to fight it. Just notice it started. And come back to the breath. Come back to the body. Come back to the afternoon that's actually happening. This is the ground that was underneath the whole time. It didn't go anywhere. We just stopped looking at it. Take one more slow breath here. Let yourself feel how much lighter this is than what you were carrying. When you're ready, let your eyes open. Let the room come back into focus. Bring this quiet with you into whatever comes next. We're glad you practiced with us today. If it's helpful, a free digital copy of A Course in Miracles is available via the link in the description. You're also welcome to leave a short comment like, I am grateful. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself these few minutes when the day was probably asking for them somewhere else. Be gentle with yourself as you go back into the afternoon. The loops will start again. And that's not failure. That's just being human. You only ever have to notice once. That's enough. I'll see you next time.